Hi guys, I have another Copic coloring and card tutorial for you today. Today we are going to color curly hair. I have actually printed this cute little Make It Crafty Fifi in a much lighter ink than I usually do, because we are going to change her hair. Instead of having these rich big curls, I'm actually going to make them small and bubbly. So we're going to do some curly hair. The challenge, actually, the color challenge today over at Make It Colorful is for the hard one to do curly hair, and I really think you should try it out and enter the challenge because this is so much fun. They do have an easy challenge too, which is pink and brown. I'm also actually doing this card for another challenge, which is for the Simon Says Stamp Monday challenge, which is magic. And there's nothing more magical than a little fairy, don't you think? Well, let's get coloring. First I'm going to do her skin, as I usually do, going from light to dark to light again. And I'm going to speed that up, but afterwards I'm going to go in more detail when I do the hair. Now for the hair, and I'm gonna start with slow and then speed up the footage after I've done a little bit. The changes I'm doing in these images is basically the whole outline is going to be the hair all the way up there, and I'm gonna make it really curly. So we're gonna start with the E23, the lightest color, and I start by just making the line just under her hat. Because it makes it easier. And then I'm gonna make small curls, just small curls. And with the lightest color I don't want to leave that much white, so I'm just making these like circles just around, trying to get the circles to kind of align that bump. Then I'm going over with the next color up, which is 25. Again, I'm gonna carefully just line the hat lining, and then I'm gonna do some more curls. This time I'm trying to make the circles bigger so that you get more of that light brown seeping through. And then we were going in with the E27, which is the next to darkest. Again, lining that and doing this time really thin lines, just making those circles almost the same as the dark ones, trying to overlap a little bit so that you get the other dark brown seeing through. And then we're taking the darkest color again, just this time only adding a couple of these here and there just to get a depth, but not filling the whole one, and just trying to add. And that's the first part of her hair, and the other parts of the hair will be made identical to that, so I'm going to speed up the footage from here on. And that's how her hair turned out. Now we're gonna fix her hat and her dress, but I will do that all in speed. Now we're almost done. I have a few things that I want to do. One of the things, I'm taking the colorless blender and I'm going around the image and just pushing the color back into the stamp, sort of. So I'm pushing it into the stamp. I kind of realized that when I work with these that hasn't as black lines, I have a tendency to actually go outside the lines. And just going in with your colorless blender, you can actually push the color back behind the line, so to speaking. Try not to go over the stamped image, because then that will be saturated. So, or desaturated, or what it's called. Like that. I don't want to do it with the hair because I want that bumping thing on the hair. The other thing I'm gonna do, as this doesn't have the sharp black lines and I want her to have it in her eyes, I'm gonna go over with the black pen. But I just realized I forgot her to color her eyes. I'm gonna have them green. So I'm taking the 3 green colors that I used and just going in, adding some gradation to the eyes with the 3 green colors I have. And that's the eyes, and now we're gonna go in with the black pen. This is a 0.05 multiliner by Copic. I like these pens because if I realize I want to color something more with my Copics, I can do this because these are Copic safe. There's a lot of different nib sizes, but 0.05 I think it's the smallest. I do like that one. A bit shaky on my hands. This is going not perfect, but it works. So I get those really stark black lines on her eyes. Really like that feature of these cute stamps. And there is her eyes. And now the colored image is ready. Now we can do the card. I had the question the other day how I cut out my images, and I actually just use my cutter bee scissors. I'm gonna see if I can get this on screen. Then I just going in and carefully just kind of eyeball the white border. If you do it a couple of times, you will kind of find the right size, like this. I'm going to just start by cutting pretty close to the image, because this makes that I don't have that much overhang, and it actually makes it easier to cut. So like this, and then I'm going in, taking my scissor, and I'm moving the image around instead of the scissors really. I'm just letting the hands do the cut thing, and then the image gets to move around. It makes it easier to cut and get a better cut around. And then I'm just going around like this. I'm gonna continue doing this off screen, but that is how I cut with my scissor bees. And now for the card. I have made some changes. I had an idea to make a card one way, and then it didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I've redone everything. So the first thing we're gonna do is make a new card base. I'm just cutting a sheet of Basin marshmallow in two, so at 5.5 inches, not centimeters, and inches, and then we're just gonna score it at 4.25, so we have a new card base to work with. New card base. Now we're gonna put the card together. Now, as I did record this previously with the others, but I kept some of the details, I thought I'd show you. I have used Simon Says Stamp Talk Bubbles 2, which is these cute little dies. And I'm also using the matching stamp set, and I have used this Loving You More Each Day sentiment. And I've put it on top of a cloud, and I'm gonna offset a green cloud that I have die cut out of the same cardstock as I'm using for the matting to tie it in. But I wanted the cloud to get a little bit more dimension than it had before. So we're just offsetting it a bit over here. That. And then we are going to put these on foam, some foams, like that. I already put foams on the back side of her, as I were almost putting the card together when I realized it wouldn't work. What I've done now is I have taken some of the Bohemian Bazaar Graphic 45 paper, and I am going to build up a little scene with them. So I'm going to start with this red paper as the background. It actually sort of matches the pink I'm using, so I thought that could be okay. I'm also having a mat for this card, which I have cut down. The card itself is 2.25 by 2 5/8, I think. No, 2.5 by 2 5/8. And then I have matted it with 1/8 bigger on each side. Also, I have cut out one of these strips of paper, and I'm very sorry for my voice. It does this sometime. So I made a little border, and I have this one, and this is actually going to go underneath the border. So I'm gonna put, the border is gonna be about there, so I'm gonna put this in the corner here, like that, and then I'm gonna put the border just on top of it, so it looks like it goes under much more than it does, like that. Then we're gonna remove all the papers of her, and we're gonna put her down here like she's dancing on the border tape, that. And then we have our little sentiment left, and we're putting that up here. And then all we have to do is to add some tape to the back side of this and put it onto our card base. But what is a fairy without glitter, right? So I'm going to use my new fine Wink of Stella pen. They are addictive. And I'm gonna add some glitter onto her hat and her dress. So I'm just painting it on a little bit to give it some of that glimmer, glitter. And that is the card for today. I hope you can see all of these beautiful glitter on her. I hope you liked my card. If you do, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. If you have any questions, just comment down below. If you have any ideas on coming videos, on techniques you want me to show you, I can do that too. And I'll see you later. Bye!